Please introduce yourself and your involvement in the Internet of Things.
Hi, I'm Stan Schneider. I'm president of a company called RealTime Innovations. We build a connectivity platform for industrial systems in many different industries. We have large power plants like hydroelectric dams and wind turbine farms. Also hospital systems like imaging systems and connected medical devices and big treatment systems and transportation, air traffic control, cars that drive themselves, planes that fly themselves. We're sort of history in autonomous systems, but we've really built a platform that works in many different kinds of industrial systems.
Stan, can you think back and recall what was your aha moment when you kind of put it all together and IoT kind of resonated for you?
My aha moment, probably a little later than it should have been, was actually in a very big important meeting with a big multinational conglomerate. And you know, they are obviously building a vision of a connected future, and you know, even though we were in all the different types of systems they're in, I still thought of them as independent. My aha moment, unfortunately, was after the meeting, but I think, you know, it really got me excited about how we could really contribute to the future of building integrated industrial Internet of Things.
Well, since then, can you maybe share with us some best practices that you've observed and that you've seen that have worked in your customers, for your customers?
The best practice, as I found, is to be open to a new vision and to be willing to change. The industries that we're in, power and medical systems and transportation and factories for that are certainly not known for being quick to adopt change. They're cautious industries, and there's billions and trillions of dollars of capital equipment that are involved in all these decisions. There's a lot of change coming in these industries, and the best practices are to be open to a new view of the world and how you can take some generic technology. It may not have come from your industry, and apply it to your industry and apply it to your company and get ahead of the curve, because I think the curve is coming very fast. The numbers are huge out there. You'll hear 19 trillion from Cisco and 2/3 of the world economy from the World Economic Forum, and I think that contributes a lot of hype, but the hype is there for a reason. I think there really is a change. Hype will go up and down, but the change is coming.
Can you tell me why did RTI join the Industrial Internet Consortium?
So before my aha moment, we had a group of customers with similar needs. They were all using data-centric technology. I won't go into what that means, but they had a communications platform that they could all succeed with, but there was no way for them to communicate. You could communicate with the power industry, you could communicate with the transportation industry, you could communicate with the medical industry, but there was no forum to get together and create an ecosystem where consumers of technology in the industrial space could get together and have a conversation. And that's really the fundamental thing that IIC brought. It's why we got excited about it. We joined quite aggressively. We're in many different groups here.
Well, tell me a little bit more about that. How is RTI contributing to the IIC?
So we're very involved. We lead the data management analytics group. We lead the use case group. We're very involved with the framework, which is really the architecture group. We're very involved with the security group. We're also co-leading 3 and maybe 4 of the testbed efforts. Testbed's a very interesting program here, where you can actually take technologies and try them out in different venues. And I'm also on the steering committee, which is sort of like the board.
And so you're contributing, it sounds like you're contributing a lot, and you represent the small companies on the board, is that right?
I do.
Yeah.
I represent the small companies.
So what is your expectation? What are you looking to get in return for this contribution here at the IIC?
We just want to have an ecosystem. Obviously, we have a vested interest in there being such an architecture that we can play in. I think all the small companies are here for that same reason. They want to get their technologies or services noticed by the big players and get a chance for a day in the sun to see if it will actually work in real world systems. I think it's a huge opportunity for all the small companies, and we would, I suppose, our founding principle is to enable the development of smart machines for the benefit of mankind. I know it sounds a little corny, but this organization is doing more to bring the era of industrial systems and machines and advanced transportation and hospital systems that can save lives and make people better and be much more efficient. We're actually working aggressively with power systems, for instance, to be much more efficient in energy. In hospital systems, we're working with connecting together medical devices in ICUs, for instance, where you've got today, you walk into an ICU and you might have 15 or 20 machines hooked up to you, but none of them communicate at all. They're sitting there with a little blinking LED or LCD displays, and the nurse is supposed to come in and look at everyone and say, well, that number is supposed to be over 90 and that one's supposed to be between 60 and 42, and then they, if something's wrong, they'll turn it down, walk out, come back an hour later. The problem is you may change in an hour. Nurse may get busy down the hall. That process is at least the 6th leading cause of preventable death in the United States, kills at least 50,000 people a year. It can easily be fixed or mitigated, at least, by having those devices talk to each other and notice that the oxygen level is low and the breathing has gotten shallow and the heart rate's getting faster. And the ability of technology and intelligent systems, even relatively simple distributed systems, to make that problem much better and even take some action like turn off the morphine drip, can save a lot of lives and make people's lives better. So I believe that this organization can save lives. It can make the world a greener place. It can make transportation safer. It can make factories much more efficient. There's a huge opportunity here. The story behind the numbers is not just about greed and making $19 trillion. The story behind the numbers is a better world for everybody on the planet. And I think that's something that we as an organization, being the IIC, have an opportunity and an obligation really to provide out there some kind of a architecture and a design that can build the coming industrial Internet of Things, which is a hugely powerful concept.